Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi Ute, and it's such a joy to come your way this very beautiful Monday morning. I'm sure you've had a very beautiful weekend, and I know you've had fun. And it's another week. And as we go towards the end of the year, we've been talking about goal setting. Started last week, talking about goals for 2023 in view. And we are continuing today. So, having set your goals, how do you measure your performance of those goals? Any goal that is not measured might never ever come to pass. That's the truth. If you don't keep it in view, if you don't keep it in focus, yes, you've done written the goals. Yes, you have the goals all well laid out, fantastic. But if you don't keep looking at it and ensuring that you're on track, you might just find out suddenly at the end of the year that you are nowhere. So, first thing is to have goals. The second thing is to have those goals written down. And then the third thing is to be able to measure the performance of those goals. And to discuss that again with me in the house today is a dear big brother, a chartered accountant of over 35 years, a trainer, a mentor, a coach. And he has been in this space for well over 3 decades. Of course, you met him last week, so I won't take you through it all again. Receive with me in the Knox to Nugget platform my big brother, Charles Olasunkanmi Obisesan. Hey, so good to have you back in the house.
Thank you once again for this great privilege to be here. I really, really appreciate it. I celebrate it, and I honor it. And thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I celebrate you also for this great work that you're doing. And I'm sure that it will get better and better and better every day and every time. More people will be blessed. More people are going to be reached. And the impact will be lasting. Will be everlasting. So that's my prayer. So we're looking at the last week. We looked at just like you have said, you have heard. Last week we looked at goal setting. Even though I just had to pause where I got to, so and because of where we are, otherwise we would have gone on and on and on. However, today we're looking at we're looking at how to measure your goals. Because measuring your goals is actually very important. Now, the first thing I want to say is, why do you measure your goal performance? Why do you measure performance? Why do you do goals performance measurement, as it were? Why do you do that? I'll give you 3 reasons, at least 3 reasons why you do that. Number 1 is goals consciousness. Goals consciousness. Now, goals performance management will create goals consciousness. That is, when you are measuring your goals, what will happen is that you become conscious of it. You become conscious of the goals that you have set. Why? Because you are measuring it. And the point is, now, when you are conscious of it, you are likely to be motivated to do it. Because you're conscious, you are likely going to be motivated to do it. So that's number 1 reason why you have to measure your goals. You have to pay attention to measuring your goals. Number 2 reason why you have to measure your goals is because what gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. Now, you don't want to score a 0 at performance measurement stage. So because of that, now you want to ensure that, hey, this thing that I'm doing, I just have to ensure that I do it and I do it well. Why? Because what gets measured gets done. If you don't measure it, you discover that it will be difficult. For example, whenever so you are in school and you are attending lectures. Now, so the day that you hear that there will be a test, you start getting yourself ready. Why? Because what gets measured what gets done. But maybe the kind of lecturer that you have is the one that will not tell you when it's going to have the test. What will happen is that every time you want to keep reading, why? Because you don't know when the thief will come. So what gets measured gets done. The same thing with goals. The same thing with goals, because what
gets measured gets done. Wow. Is network not smiling at that point? Very
so
valid
number three,
point
we
there.
measure the performance
Okay.
of
We
is
lost you a
because
bit.
yes, yes. I noticed that. That's why. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm back on now.
Yes, you are back on.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So the number three reason why you measure your goals is because what gets measured gets improved upon or adjusted on time if need be. What gets measured gets improved upon or adjusted on time if need be. So when you measure it, what happens is that you discover that you can improve on it, and then if you need to improve on it, also if you need to adjust anything along the line, you quickly adjust and then you move on. So those are the three main reasons why you measure your performance. There could be more, but at least let's talk at this now. So the question therefore today is, in order for you to measure your goals performance, the question now is your goal measurable? Is it measurable? Because if it's not measurable, then there's nothing you're going to measure. So the question is it measurable? If it is not measurable, then you just discover that you have just a generalized goal or generalized goals, which is neither specific nor measurable nor attainable nor realistic nor time bound. Why? Because it cannot be measured. So, the question you want to ask yourself is my goal measurable? Okay, so now how do I measure my goal performance, assuming my goal is measurable? All right, so how do I measure my goal performance? I'll just give you three ways by which you can measure your goal performance. All right, so now number one. You see, well, before I even say number one, I said earlier that is your goal measurable? And that so you are asking yourself whether it's smart, is measurable, is attainable, is realistic or relevant. Okay, realistic or relevant? Is realistic? That is it relevant to you, relevant to the time, relevant? I mean, is it relevant? And then of course it's time bound. And of course, your goals must not just be smart; it should be smarter. That is, so when we say it's smarter, is this smarter? So the E and R there are now, can your goals be evaluated? Is it evaluatable? And then is it reviewable? So that's where you come to when you are talking about measuring your goal performance. That's talking about evaluation and review of your goals. The evaluation of it, the review of it, every time. So number one thing you need to do, therefore, when you are going
before you go on, I want to just pause you there. Talk about the smarter again. We are used to smart, specific, measurable, achievable, time bound. You talk about smarter. That ER. Can you talk about it a little more?
Okay. So that's where I'm actually going, because that's now. So the point about smarter goals is that now the E there is evaluate. Is it a goal that you can evaluate all the time? And then of course, is it a goal that you can review? So now you sit down and do an evaluation of the goal. Okay, so how much have I done? How great is this goal? So the thing is, now, if you cannot evaluate the goal, if you cannot review the goal, or if you don't evaluate the goal, if you don't review the goal, then you are not measuring the goal. So because whatever you cannot evaluate and whatever you cannot review, okay, then it means you just have something generalized. So now, now, and that's why when we talk about goals performance, the number one thing is evaluate your goals. Evaluate your goals often. Evaluate them often. Now, so, and how do I do that? Track it. Track it by documenting your progress. Track your goals by documenting your progress. And how do you do that? Break the goals down to tasks, time, and milestones. Break them into tasks, time, and milestones. So, and what will happen is, now when you break them down into task, time, and milestones, what will happen is you start ticking them off as you complete the task and as you achieve the milestones. You tick them off. When you tick them off, I say, okay, I've done this one. Oh, wow, wonderful. I've done this one. Oh, okay, I've not done this one. Ah, okay. Now, so tick them off. Okay, so tick them off as you complete the task, and then then of course tick them off as you achieve the milestones. Now, let me say this. As talk about evaluating your goals, please do this for yourself. It will be good. Celebrate your wins, however small the win may be. Celebrate it. It's part of it. Celebrate your wins, however small the win may be, and however small the celebration may be. Just go ahead and celebrate. See, every time you celebrate, now what you are saying to yourself is, number one, I'm keeping track of my goals, and then I am grateful for every progress that I have made so far. I'm grateful for it. And the thing about gratitude is that it has a way of propelling your graduation to the next level. It has the way of just, because it just gives you this adrenaline, as they say, that you just, you know what, if I can do this little one, then I can do more. If I can do this, I can do that. So the first thing, therefore, is evaluate your goals, evaluate your goals. And then, of course, number two way by which you can measure your goals performance is by accountability. Now, when I talk about accountability, I talked about two things. Number one thing I want to talk about when it comes to accountability is that, number one, be self-accountable. Be self-accountable. And I think this is very important. This is very, very important. Well, you know why? The reason why you have to be self-accountable is because it's your life. Your goals is about your life. Your goals, is about you. It's your goal. It's not somebody else's goal. So, and your goal is your life, and so it is your responsibility. It's your responsibility. Now, so you see, now it's so important, because if it's not important to you, it won't and can't be important to anyone, to anybody else. If the performance of your goals is not important to you, it will not be important to anybody else, and it cannot be important to anybody else, even if the person is your wife, your spouse, your parent, your children, your siblings. Talk less of your friends. It has to be important to you first before it can be important to any other person. So that's why self-accountability is crucial to goals performance. I want to be self-accountable. That's very crucial. Now, and how do you do this? Ask yourself regularly. Ask yourself. Now, this is where the review comes in. Comes in. So now, ask yourself regularly, what did I set out to accomplish this year? Ask yourself regularly, and because you have broken it down. You're broken it down to tasks, time, and milestones. So you're asking yourself, what did I set out to accomplish this year, this month, on this week, and even this day? So it is a regular review. So I'm reviewing today what I did yesterday. I'm reviewing this week what I did last week. I'm reviewing this month what I did last month, so that it won't get too late, too late in the day before I say, so it is a regular review. So what did I set out? What do you say?
I said very true.
Yeah. So I said, what did I set out to accomplish? This year, now, and then number two, how far have I gone? How far have I gone? How far have I gone? How far have I gone with this thing that I'm supposed to do? How far have I gone? You ask yourself, how far have I gone? And then you ask yourself again, number three, what did I do well and why. What did I do well, and why did I do it well? I'm not talking about how you did it well. That's not so important as to why you did it well. What is it that motivated you to do it well? You need to ask yourself. Okay, so what did I do well, and why did I do it well? And then you ask yourself again. We're talking about evaluation here. I mean, we're talking about review here. Then evaluation and review. And then you ask yourself again, what didn't I do well, and why didn't I do it well? What did I do well? And why didn't I do it well? So you have to ask yourself that question. And then you need to ask yourself also, what didn't I do at all? You know, that times that you may not even do anything at all. What did I do at all? And why didn't I do it at all? I want to ask myself, we're talking about measuring your performances. So what didn't I do at all? And then you need to then ask yourself, what do I need to adjust and how? See the difference in these questions. What do I need to adjust now that I've checked, I've checked everything I need to do, and what I've done and what I've not done, and why I didn't do them, okay, and why I did them. So question now is, what do I need to adjust, and how am I going to adjust it? So you are asking yourself, is it the goal that I need to adjust? Is it the strategy I need to adjust? Is it the timeline I need to adjust? Or is it me that needs adjustment? Because the time that it is me that needs adjustment. Maybe my mentality needs adjustment. Maybe my attitude to my life, to my goals, to my future, to my destiny needs adjustment. So I need to ask myself, what do I need to adjust, and how do I adjust it? So you now ask yourself, so do I need to reset the goals? So I mean, I have to reset the goals if need be. I may have to re-strategize, my methods. Okay, if I have to, I may have to regulate the time if I need to, and of course, I may have to work on me if that is the problem. I may have to work on me if that's the problem, because most times really is because I am the problem. I am the problem. It is not the goal. It's not because it's not the goal. It may not even be it may not even be the timeline. It may not even be the timeline. Because you discover that most times, now, most times what happens to us is that we waste so much time. We allow things to take our time. This is the generation of distraction. There's something I'm putting together. Now, the title is distraction management. Because now this is a totally distracted generation. And we are in the distraction season. And so the challenge is with us. So many things take our time, that we allow to happen. And it's unfortunate that the things that distract us are not as important as the thing that they distract us from. Not as important as the thing. So the things that distract us are not as important as the thing that they distract us from, unfortunately. So I have to work on me. So that is very, very important. So I'm asking myself, so my goal is to write a book by June 2023. So how many words did I write yesterday? How many words? Okay, did I write yesterday? My goal is to save $50,000 by 31st of December. How much did I save in January? I'm asking myself. So now these are how much did I save, and why did I save that? Okay, now what do I need to adjust, and how do I adjust it? So we need to ask ourselves that. So that's the first thing about accountability. And then the second thing about accountability is that you need to have an accountability partner. Have an accountability partner. Companies have accountants. Why? So that they can be accountable, and of course they can measure their performance as well. So you too should have a goal accountant. Have a goal accountant. An accountant that you will account to, concerning your goals. Someone who will help you in the measurement of your goals. The measurement of the performance of your goals. Someone that will help you. You need that, and see that person That person should be someone who is not, who is interested in your progress and not intimidated by your vision or envious of your passion. Someone who is interested in your progress, and not intimidated by your vision or envious of your passion. So that is the kind of person that you need, a partner and it should be someone who that you respect, that you don't want to offend, you don't want to disappoint, someone that you really respect, so that because of the respect you have for him or her, you discover that you find yourself working towards your goal, and then you make sure that you set time with him, set time with him to discuss with him every time. The time that you've agreed, of course, as regularly as possible, so that you can tell him, okay, this is how far I've gone. This is what I want to do this year. This is how far I've gone. This is end of January. This is how far I've gone, and all that. And then these are the challenges I'm having, so that it can help you. See, the thing is that now that's why we need mentors, because see, a mentor is someone who has done 10 times what you're trying to do once. So. And so the person just helps you, and then you see yourself that you are not having to reinvent the wheel, because somebody has already invented the wheel. So all you need to do is to oil the wheel, so that you can move faster. That's all you need to do. Just oil the wheel and move faster.
Oil the wheel.
That's very important. And then of course the number 3 thing. I don't know whether I still have any more time.
Well, let's do 2 more minutes.
Okay. So let me. So the which is the third thing is that how do I measure my goals? Identify the lead measure, LEAD, the lead measure. Now, I got it. I got this from the book, the 4 disciplines of execution. That now the 4 disciplines of execution. And the guy said there are only 2 kinds of measures we can focus on. Only 2 kinds of measures we can focus on. Said there's the lead measure and the lag measure. The lead measure and the lag measure. Now the thing is, now lag measures focus only on outcomes. They focus only on outcomes. Now, and the thing about focusing on outcomes is that by the time you get to the outcome, you cannot do anything about them. You can't change them. You can't adjust them. You can't do anything about it. See, that's why they are called lag, because you cannot do anything about them by the time you get to them. Okay, so maybe you say, okay, you're going to have your focus on profit or customer satisfaction or something. Now, by the time you get to the profit, you can't do anything about it again. Okay, that's why it's called lag, because sometimes you can't do anything about it. And most times, what I've discovered is that most times, we focus more on the outcome. That's the challenge. We focus more on the outcomes. We focus more on the outcomes rather than the inputs. We focus more on the product rather than the process that will produce the products. So, and the thing is that you can't change the product after it is produced, but you can influence the product. You can influence the product before it is produced by simply altering the processes or inputs that determine that product or that outcome. That's lead measure. So you lead it. For example,
Wow.
a lag measure is, okay, by end of March, I want to lose 10 kg. I want to lose 10 kg, but that's a lag measure. So you're focused on losing 10 kg. But a lead measure is the number of workouts, the number of workout sessions I'm going to have. How many calories am I going to be burning every day? That's a lead measure that will lead you to the lag. So the thing is, and there are many examples that we can give to that, but the time will not permit us. So the point is, focus on the lead, and you will accomplish the lag. Focus on the lead, and focus on the lead, and you'll accomplish the lag. But please, let me just give you a caveat here before I stop. Don't set goals that are too easy to accomplish. Otherwise, you will be too lazy to attempt them. Don't set goals that are too easy. Otherwise, you'll be too lazy to attempt them. And don't set goals that are too unrealistic or unreasonable. Otherwise, you become too intimidated. I mean, they become too intimidating, you know, and you become they become so intimidating, and of course, you become too afraid to even attempt them. So, set goals that are big enough to challenge you and small enough to excite you and inspire you to attempt them. Thank you
Wow.
for having me.
Wow. 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 Thank God you are coming back next week because we have not scratched these matters. But you know, when you said don't set goals too easy to accomplish, I thought you would say because you will not stretch yourself. We now said because you'll be too lazy to
Yeah,
attempt them. That caught
yeah,
my attention. I thought it would be like, if the goal is too easy, then you will not do anything. But it is that you'll be too lazy to
yeah,
accomplish them.
yeah,
Wow, thank you so much. I will not take your last words. We are still pausing. We are continuing next week. The
yeah.
issue of goals and goals measurement is the summation of a successful life.
Hmm.
If your life is going to be anything that's described as successful, you must have goals, they must be measurable, and you must be measuring them. So thank you so much, big brother. We are back again next week. So we are putting a pause on this because this next week will be tidying up on this measurement and then taking any questions that you may have. I have some already written down. So if you have questions, please just come up with it next week. Or you will have the time to answer your goals. Next week, it will just take like about 5 minutes to talk, and then we'll go into asking questions. Thank
Okay,
you so much for today. Thank you so
okay,
much, Reverend Sokome. It's been
okay,
amazing having you. It's been
okay.
thought provoking. It's been everybody is just writing, writing, writing. Even me, I think I have 3, 4 pages written down here. One biro finished, I picked
Wow.
up another one because I couldn't stop writing. And beyond that, I want to encourage everybody, please go back again and listen. You didn't hear it all. There's so much he has said. Listen to last week again, listen to it again this week. And if you were looking for where do I get it, it's there on our YouTube channel, Knocks to Nuggets. So just go to the YouTube channel and then do me one more favor. Like that video, share it, let people out there know that there is something called Knocks to Nuggets. Thanks again, Reverend Sokomi. I'll see
Thank
you
you.
next week, Monday.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Wow, so much to chew. But like I was asking and I'm asking again, like the video on YouTube. You know why I'm asking to please like the video? It helps the algorithm, it helps people to see it. Even those who you have not tagged will see it when you have liked it. It's telling the operators, the AIs, everybody that there's something about this video somebody needs to see. So please don't just listen, like the video, share it, and let somebody out there know there's something called Knocks to Nugget. Thank you so much, Ininfon. Thank you so much for exposing this to your entire team. I really did appreciate it, and I really do appreciate it. To everybody, please like the video, share it. Let somebody out there know there's something called Knocks to Nugget. And you know, next week will be another explosive time. I'm excited about the lineup of Knocks to Nuggets for the rest of the year. I'm so excited, and you should be too. I will unveil one wrap at a time. So until I come your way next week, Monday, another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. Don't forget it. If you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. And always together we win. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. See you next week. Have a wonderful week ahead. Bye for now.